Welcome everyone to Claret and Big Blue, probably the only podcast on the internet dedicated to West Ham United and the New York Giants. That's right, football and football, balls for everyone's taste. This is episode 7. Our baby's growing up, Alex. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you, man?
I'm doing okay. Just come off the back of a pretty abysmal, not abysmal, but a pretty boring West Ham versus Southampton game.
It wasn't a loss. Wasn't a loss. So we got that at least.
And we didn't concede any goals.
Right. Clean sheet. Shout out Fabianski. Had a couple good saves there. Specifically one. Game. That specifically was one good save, but that was about it.
Who was that from? That was from Walcott, right? That little where it kind of did that little bobble thing.
Yeah, he had to dip down and make the save.
Where was you? Where did you have the fortune of watching the game?
I watched it at the bar that I usually go to with my West Ham watch group, Nick's Place out here in Houston, and that was we had 4 or 5 of us showed up there today. It was a pretty good little turnout, but yeah, all for nothing. It felt like 0-0. I mean, I don't know if it's just the American in me. Maybe I'm not used to the sport, but like, it's kind of like, what did I just watch that for? Like, there's like, what is the point? I put a lot of effort into watching something, and I saw absolutely nothing coming out of it. Like, at least give me a 1-1, 1-0, some sort of result or something like that. But 0-0 just feels like we could have just stayed home.
Yeah, you can occasionally get an exciting 0-0 draw, but that was not one of them.
Not at all. Not at all. The second half seemed like it was going to go West Ham's way a little bit more. I felt like it should have, but Southampton made some saves when they needed to make some saves, and Allaire continues to be lackluster from the striker position.
In the defense of my man today, I will say there wasn't much chance for him to do much today. Going back to the other game that we've had since our last podcast, which was Brighton. I can understand people's criticism of him in that game because he wasn't doing much there. But this game, we didn't have anything really going forward until.
What's the woman's name that is the analyst on NBC Sports? What's her name?
Oh, that is
because she had
Rebecca
the best
Lowe. Is it Rebecca Lowe?
Whatever it is. She had the best Allaire description ever. She said he is a great scorer of goals, not a great goal scorer.
Yeah, when he does score, they're great.
When goals. He scores, man, they're pretty. But he can't score worth shit. And it was like, yeah, no, that's a perfect observation.
If you want a striker to score 4 beautiful goals in 38 games, he's your man.
That's the guy. But if you need a guy that's consistent, it's going to help you get those points, no, not him at all. Please just sit him on the bench.
I will say, like, from his past, I think he is a good striker. I just don't think he's a good striker in our system. And it's true. Definitely not in West Ham system for sure. Because I think when he played for, who did he play for before? Was it Frankfurt?
It was like Leverkusen or some shit like that. I have no idea. Somewhere in Germany.
Yeah, he had like a pretty solid partnership with 2 other fellas, and really he hasn't got that here.
Not at all. Not at all.
But the starting lineup today, was you a little bit shocked? Because I was a little bit shocked by the starting lineup today with 5 changes from the Brighton game. Craig Dawson making a debut.
Right.
I mean, we'll get into how he did, but before the game started, was you like, what the fuck is going on?
Moyes is keeping you on your toes. So he's like, you want a questionable starter? Well, maybe it's been Noble the last few days. Okay. How about we remove Noble from the starting lineup, but we're going to throw Dawson in. What do you think about that? And you're like, wait, what? I mean, yeah, like he didn't end up being disappointment, but like what I texted you was Dawson, Jack Dawson, Titanic, dies on Titanic. He is British, West Ham British. I just thought that the similarities, I didn't like the way it was trending. You never want the guy that went down on a sinking ship to play for your team. He was playing for my team. And he also very early on, that first half specifically, there were about like 2 or 3 that I thought could have been very close to like own goals. And I was like, this guy screams like he is going to score us an own goal and like fuck us.
Yeah.
So
I mean, in Jack
he
Dawson's
didn't.
defense, he didn't die on the Titanic.
He died because of the Titanic.
Yeah, but he was off of the Titanic.
He was a Dawson.
He technically
Rose
escaped the Titanic.
fucked him
He
real
just
bad.
didn't escape very far.
True.
When that bitch wouldn't let him on that door.
It was a bit door big enough for everybody to get on.
They could have had a party on that door.
So much parties. They could have probably had another 2 or 3 people join.
And that would have
dinner
given them
party.
more power to do the
Exactly.
swimming. And they could
exactly. So many lives could have been saved.
Fucking bitch.
But that's another story for another day.
Yeah, that's when Mike and Alex review the Titanic and how it could have saved more
Our
lives.
thoughts on the real story you didn't hear about.
Also, another questionable thing about the lineup was, did you see, because maybe I missed something, that was Sufal, was he slightly injured? Did he take a knock? Because I have no idea why he wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't know about that either. I thought maybe they were trying to change it up, give some other people some time, but didn't make sense. Sufal definitely feels like he should have been in there unless there was some sort of injury. Another one is, I feel like we've mentioned this for like 3 weeks in a row. Can Benihana get a fucking start? Can he get a like, just throw him in there? What's the worst that could happen? Huh?
Because this game he comes on and suddenly our team improves. I'm not saying it's all down to him, but the team definitely improved when he came on.
We're looking at
Brighton.
catalysts. He's one of the things.
Brighton, same thing. He comes on. Game changes. I can't remember as far back as the Chelsea game now because my mind's not that great. But
yeah,
it
our
just
brains
makes
don't work
sense.
like
Like,
that.
why? I don't understand why. It just seems. I was looking back. It just seems because I was chatting to my dear papa earlier, and it just seems that we were a very exciting attacking team up until I think it was about the Man United game. Where
yeah, dude. And then we're just like, let's just chill.
It just seems that Moyes only wants to play defensive.
Well, you texted me too, like, because we were kind of bitching about the attack the first half, and you're like, "This is a 0-0. This is a 0-0 draw. Like, this is a 0-0 draw." It ended up being a 0-0 draw. They pulled everybody back. It makes no sense. Put some more people up. We've seen in the few times that Moyes has been on his second tenure where he's played 2 men up. It bodes well for West Ham. We can fuck teams up if you have just one other guy. And Allaire needs that guy to pass it to him. Allaire's not going to make it happen.
No.
Allaire's not going to make the move. He's not going to have all that stuff. And we saw the near goal. I think it was Benihana almost had it. And then was it Dawson even? I can't remember who it was that they had a shot on goal and like it was a weird angle, but they forced it. And they like the West Ham, the few chances, which I feel like West Ham had 3 real chances the entire game. Like they were just kind of like you had to make the most out of it, and Allaire doesn't ever know how to make the most out of it, which is like just if we could have another guy up there that could maybe assist to him, like maybe do something else that could give him another option, so he's not the only guy that's got to make things happen. He's just not that kind of striker, and I don't know why Moyes can. Like, does he just feel like he knows that he's not that kind of striker? So we're just gonna have to play defensively. Like this is a very Burnley style that we're playing, and it's like we're not in a relegation battle at this point where we need to have 1 point. Like let's go for the win.
Yeah,
let's go for the win, and I don't feel like we're ever going for the win at this point. It feels like we're just trying to take 1 point out of every game.
I think we're coming up to the halfway point. I think it's pretty safe to say that Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield United are going to be the 3 teams relegated. I can't imagine unless something crazy happens.
Like Burnley, there's 5 teams really in the relegation discussion. I feel like,
and Brighton, I think.
Yeah, like max.
Like so, I'm pretty sure unless we suddenly start losing every single game for the rest of the season, I'm pretty sure we're not in a relegation battle this year. So, and we're not going to be in a title picture. So I think the best we can go for is that sweet 6th, 7th spot where we can get European football next year, hopefully attract some better players, blah, 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 blah. So like, why not just go for it? Worst case scenario, we shit the bed and we finish 13th, 14th.
But it's like he's so worried about being top half of the table, barely. It's like it's not going to get anything done. We're going to finish at 11, 12, which I'm fine with. I ideally like to be top half, but like we're playing 11th, 12th best on the table football right now.
Yeah. Like I understood it, I guess. I was disappointed, but I understood why we play defensive against United and Chelsea because they're the
They're
ones
better
that we
than
need.
us.
They're much better than us. We need to keep it back, and then hopefully we can nick one on the counter. Blah blah blah. But yeah, Brighton and Southampton, those are games that we should have.
They shouldn't scare you, and they feel
No,
like they scare them, and I don't like that at all.
and we just had that. Like even Bowen, why was Bowen on the bench? Like
I mean, it makes no sense, man. Moyes, every single time he's put out a lineup for the last month or so, there have been at least 2 or 3 things where you're just like, why this? Why this? And I mean, he's a manager. I'm not a manager, so he should know more about what he's doing than I do, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it.
no, because you'd understand if they had bad games, but I don't remember Sufal having a bad game last time. I don't remember
No,
Bowen having a
no,
bad
no
game.
reason except for an injury or whatever. And then Antonio, I understand he's just not 100%. You kind of saw that where he let up, where he was sprinting towards the ball at one point. He kind of let up. I felt like I honestly at that point I was like I would have rather had 30 minutes of Antonio half-assing it or like being able to half-ass it with his hamstring because I feel like Antonio at least wants to be there. Allaire has got Arnautovic vibes where it's like he's just jogging around. Like he doesn't give a shit.
Have you seen the
Like
rumors that he might be
Antonio
coming back?
wants to score goals. I know Antonio wants to score when he's out there. Allaire's just out there.
It just I don't know. There's normally some at least positives you can take out, and I guess we didn't necessarily play bad today. It was just we were just there, just doing our thing. Like no, maybe once or twice. I don't know if I'm trying to think of specifics, but it was just a game where I wasn't at any point really concerned that we were going to lose, but also
Right.
I just
I mean
didn't
that
think we were going to have
offsides
anything.
goal
Yeah, oh yeah. Other than that,
that was troubling.
that was a little bit because I was still trying to move around my setup like in the first couple of games. So I was like, "Fuck, did I miss that?" And I was like, "Oh, this is it. This is how it's gonna go." But then, thankfully, it was about like a minute later. What they flagged it
Yeah.
offside, but whatever, I'll take it. But yeah, then Craigie Dawson did well, I guess. Pretty much. I mean, defensively, we're other than the Chelsea game and I guess the Man United game in the second half, we're pretty defensively solid. There's no real complaints, which again brings me
Right.
to why we change things. I don't understand that, but I mean, positive vibes. Let's keep moving forward. I'm just hoping that once our players come back, but then Masuaku, he's probably gonna be out for a while, right? He had knee surgery.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. So it'll just be a rotating of like Fredericks, Dawson, and company kind of in that spot.
But I mean, looking back at the last game, I don't understand why we didn't play. Because didn't Ben Johnson come on and play? I'm trying to think
He
which
played,
position
did he
was
play
it?
wing?
Left wing back, right?
Yeah, but he played up, I think.
So I don't see why we can't go back to our old system. Have Sufal on the right, Ben Johnson on the left, 3 at the back, because that worked very well for us. And then just keep moving forward. I don't understand.
It's like Moyes finds something that does work, and he's like, you know what we should do? Not that. Like that worked too much. They're gonna expect that. Let's change it up. And it's like, I don't know, man. Let's go back with what we know.
This working is boring me.
It's getting suspicious.
Let's try to switch this up. But then we've got, I don't want to keep beating the dead horse because that was trying to drag things out to talk about that game when there really wasn't that much to talk about. So next up, we have Everton on New Year's Day, which is always a fun game against Everton.
Yeah, I don't like it.
How do you see that one going?
It feels like a loss. It feels like we've had 3 games that I felt like we should have had better results than we got out of it. Everton's a better team than the teams we've played, although that is the most West Ham thing. And with that being said, West Ham will probably come out and win because they'll play to their competition like they always do. I feel like it's like a 1-1 draw or like a 2-1 like game either way.
I mean, looking at their
I think
form,
West Ham will keep it close, honestly.
I mean, I'll take a draw, to be fair, because their last 5 games, Everton have won 4 of them. They're doing pretty well, whereas we have been pretty boring. Last 5 games, 3 draws and a win. 3-1, 1
1
1
3 and
1 3-1. Yeah.
However they do it. Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so they're pretty much on a hot streak. We are not.
We're on a mediocre streak.
So I guess that one I will take a draw, but I just hope we come out a little bit more, with some oomph, some spirit.
Would be ideal.
I hope, but I can definitely see Mark Noble starting for this game for some reason.
It does feel like a very noble start. Like, oh, we were saving him up for Everton. Like, oh, thanks, Moise.
Like I love Mark Noble. I don't know if we mentioned this before in the last one, but I think Mark Noble definitely has his place still. He is the kind of person, I think, when maybe it's like the last 20 minutes, we're winning 1-0 or whatever, and he bring him on to steady the ship, calm everyone down, be that voice of experience to bring it home. But I don't think he's a star anymore.
No,
he's not gonna give that right.
Definitely not.
But yeah, I mean, the most positive I can be in the prediction for that one is going to be a draw. Maybe I think it's definitely going to be a score draw if we are going to get a draw, because I can't see us keeping Everton to a clean sheet.
That'd be really hard to do. It feels like.
So I think 2-2 is probably going to be a safest bet. I can see that. I think there's going to be goals. What about you?
Yeah, I'll go 2-1, probably Everton.
Can't complain, really. Can't complain. All right, let's move on to slightly more positive news, even though
not
the results haven't been there. Okay, but more positive outlook. But okay, before we get into the Giants, I have a question. So this came up recently in my household, and so I'm not going to tell you what I said because I don't want to feed you answers. I want to get your honest answer. Okay, so I'm going to put you in a situation. So let's just say you're at home. It's your house. So this isn't any out in public or anything like that, because it changes everything. But you're at your own house and you need to use the bathroom. It's the number 1. It's the tinkle. Okay. Do you, because for the premise of this, I'm going to assume you wash your hands, especially now.
Always.
But are you, for a tinkle, do you wash your hands before or after?
Wait, is this like a trick question?
No. This is a genuine question.
You wash your hands after you would wash your hands after you use the restroom. Why would you wash your hands before you use the restroom?
Because here's my thing. Okay, so I am a pre-washer. I wash my hands before I use the bathroom.
Do you wash them afterwards?
Well, that depends. If I have like an accidental spray, then yeah, sure. But okay, so this is where I stand on this. Okay, so all day I'm walking around, and the thing that the urine comes out, aka the peni, is pretty well covered. I've got some underwear on. I've got my pants on. It's like I'm double masking it down there. It's pretty safe down there.
I always wear a condom on mine just in case, just to make it's like one extra layer of protection.
Plus, you never know. You never know.
You never know when you need it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, out of the two things of my hands and my penis, I'm going to assume my hands are the dirtiest thing. So, to ensure that my little chap stays clean, before I handle him, I wash my hands. And then everyone's happy. Everyone's clean. I mean, don't know, if I get a little splash on there, of course I wash my hands. I'm not an animal, but I just think once I clean my hands, I can handle him. Now we're both clean. Move on with our day.
But like when you flush, you're putting your hands on the thing that everybody else has touched, which is why you then have to go.
This is why I say it's your bathroom. If it's public bathroom or you're someone else's, then yeah, the rules change. But when it's your house, if you keep pre-washing your hands, then there's no reason why the flushes should be dirty.
Because not everybody's gonna pre-wash their hands.
What? So how many people you got living in your house?
2.
So yeah, so if
Well,
everyone,
like anybody that ever comes over, they're gonna have to pre-wash their hands. I think it's just a little crazy to pre-wash your hands before. Do you wipe before you poop?
that's completely different, and you know it.
I don't know. It's seeming. I feel like you gotta wash your hands after you go.
Definitely, if I'm pooping, I'm definitely washing my hands afterwards, 100%. But
So then that would be. Would you go? You'd wash your hands before and then after?
no,
Wait, what? Because
I'm,
I mean, I feel like there's only so much time in the day. I can't be washing my hands all day.
no, you just do it once instead of doing it after the.
But it doesn't cancel it out.
What do you mean?
It doesn't cancel out like any of the dirty stuff you touch after you pee.
No, but then the next time you need to pee, you wash your hands before peeing. Get rid of the dirty stuff.
But like if you close the door, you gotta open the door again. The door has the germs that you use to close the door before you wash your hands. So effectively you're touching the same germs that you had on your hands before you went and washed your hands.
But by that argument, you should wash your hands like every 30 seconds.
I do. I carry my own hand washing station around with me at all times. Just on the go. You never know. It's a fanny pack, but it's just a hand washing station. It's like a bird bath.
I think I could convert you onto this idea.
I don't think so. I think that's it's a weird thing you're doing. I don't know. It's a British thing. It's a weird thing.
I don't think it's a British thing. I think it's
a weird thing, whatever it is.
Maybe it was something I come up with just to be different. Now I'm running with it.
It might be. And I mean, you know what? If like dare to be different is what they said. So you do you, dog, but it's a little weird.
But yeah, if I'm at someone else's house, then yeah, game changes. It's I'm washing everything.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on to the New York Giants. So New York Giants played 5 weeks ago on Sunday. Everything just feels, I don't know, is it this, I mean, I know I don't want to harp on too much about the year, but I mean, is it just me or is the last couple of weeks just dragged? Is it me?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's like week 17 coming up. That's what's crazy to me. Like it feels like we just started the season, but hey, if I told you the Giants would be playing a meaningful game in week 17 in the beginning of the season, I think you would have taken it.
Oh, 100%.
I know I would have. And we don't control our own destiny.
That is,
but we can get into the postseason by beating the Cowboys, essentially.
Oh, before we move on, I have to
show
you something.
You ask.
So for my Christmas present, Christmas present. Oh,
yeah, Saquon jersey. I like it.
Saquon jersey, and also for this, let me show you this. I'm gonna go over here.
This is a video version thing. So this is good radio for everybody that's listening right now. Mike leaning over, he's grabbing something. He's putting his headphones back on. What's he got? John McClane and Hans Gruber Funko Pop, guys. That's funny.
Your favorite Christmas movie.
It's not my favorite Christmas movie. And we're not even talking about whether or not Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Apparently, people think it's a Christmas movie.
Voted number one Christmas movie officially by the Pasta Gravy podcast.
It was not by me, but by people that listen to the podcast. Yes, it was voted number one, and a troll vote, I feel like, but a vote nonetheless.
I do feel watching. I mean, if you haven't watched it already, go watch the 7th annual Pasta Gravy Christmas Spooktacular on YouTube. I do feel you laid your cards out too early there. You did.
I did, and then
you had your emotions on your chest, and
I did, and it fucked me. It fucked me real bad, and you know, you learn, you live and you learn. And I guess next year, I just don't tell people who I'm voting for.
Next year, just have a T-shirt that says "Die Hard is a Christmas movie."
I go hardcore for Die Hard, and then everybody exactly reverse psychology.
So, what is, by the way, what if you were to vote in? What was your vote gonna get? What's your Christmas movie all-time number one?
All time. Christmas Vacation's pretty good. That's a pretty good one to go with.
At least it's not Home Alone.
Elf is good too.
Elf
Home
is
Alone is
very
also good.
Home Alone is good. I mean, it's another conversation which could go on for hours, but I just think
Is
Home
it the
Alone.
best Joe Pesci movie? A lot of people say yes. I'm just saying that to me. I'm just saying it because I know somebody listening is mad right now.
It's like, do they? Who says that?
Children
Who know nothing. But yeah, I just think Home Alone. Home Alone is a great movie. I love Home Alone, but I just think in the type of movie it is, if you're gonna consider Home Alone a Christmas movie, then Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
Absolutely.
I don't see the difference realistically.
Like Home Alone's better, so
whatever. Anyway, do you know what is gonna be better? When we beat the Cowboys on Sunday and win the NFC East.
And the Eagles beat the Washington football team because they don't have a quarterback now. Maybe if Alex Smith is out, Dwayne Haskins is released because he was a fucking problem. Oh, hey, remember it was like, oh, yeah, the Giants were idiots. They should have drafted Dwayne Haskins instead of Daniel Jones. Well, 2 years in, Daniel Jones is still a starter of a football team. Dwayne Haskins just got cut after his like 19th fucking disciplinary action. So I think that whoever said that, you are no longer credible.
You'd have thought after about 17, he would have learned his lesson, but no. He went all the way up to 19. Everyone knows 19 is a magic number.
19 is where you really go straying. Giants got to beat the Cowboys. Have to have Philadelphia beat Washington, and that's it. Then the Giants are in. Dallas can also get in if they beat the Giants, and Washington loses. Washington just has to win. I don't even care about the Ravens game. Fuck the Ravens game, man. Ravens are a hot team. The Ravens are the team you don't want to mess with in the postseason. Giants aren't they're not a championship contender. I don't expect them to be a championship contender. Can they sneak into the playoffs? Fuck yeah, they can. And that's what we're rooting for, because now all you gotta do is beat the goddamn Cowboys. Just go beat the Cowboys. Do I think the Giants could have beat the Ravens? No. Do I think they could have beat the Browns? No.
Looking on the plus side, though, on the positive side,
beat the Cowboys? Yes, absolutely.
Daniel Jones did not throw a single interception against the Ravens.
He's also not 100%. I don't like that.
He did, and he's probably not going to be 100% because he got sacked about 12 times against the Ravens.
But the Cowboys aren't the Ravens. Their secondary is not that good.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones is due for a go-off king game. He's probably going to do that. The Giants, again, are like 0-6 in their last 6 against the Cowboys, so they're due. Like, we've got all the, like, due things ready for us, queued up, teed, ready to go. We're gonna fuck up Andy Dalton. We should have beat the Cowboys the last time we played him. Similar to that, we should have beat the Eagles the first time we played him. I think we beat him. I think we beat the Cowboys. I think this is a Giants win. I am pretty certain this is gonna be a Giants win.
Yeah, and it's
putting all my cards on my table right now. It's gonna be a Giants win.
It's a situation that, not exactly the situation, but the situation I called several weeks ago, where I was like, okay, I just feel this is going to go down to the Cowboys game, where it's going to be winner goes to the playoffs. And, if the Eagles beat the Washingtons, then that's going to be the case. But I'm assuming, are they played at the same time to make it all tense and nervous?
Giants play fucking noon, and then I think Washington is the Sunday night game. So no matter what, Washington will be playing for a berth in the playoffs, because whoever wins the Giants-Cowboys game will be watching, hoping that Washington loses.
Shit. Yeah. Cowboys-Giants, 1 p.m. Eastern, and then Washington's and the Eagles at 8:20 Sunday night prime time. That's
a fact, Jack.
Gavelled it.
Take that to the bank.
So let's just take it. So realistically, I mean, obviously, on paper, because the Eagles haven't been playing very well this season. That's, I'm going to shock everyone in saying that.
But
But
also Washington kind of doesn't have an offense.
and really, they're only. I mean, they're not that much worse than Washington because what Washington's 6-9, Eagles at 4-10-1. So they've only lost one more game.
It's a doable game. They got nothing to play for, but like Jalen Hurts either has to prove himself or maybe Carson Wentz gets to play a little bit. And if you don't think that would be the most Carson Wentz go off game ever, we might need Carson Wentz to start a game. Who would have thought we'd be asking for that?
Do you think let's just say Carson Wentz starts the game and
He's going to go off.
Let's just say who do you think would inspire him more to win the game? If knowing that if he wins this game, it will stop the Giants from going to the from the playoffs, or it will stop. No, if he you know what I mean. Who does he hate more? Do you think the Giants or the Cowboys?
He hates Jalen Hurts the most, which I think means it won't matter. He's going to go out and try to light the motherfucking world on fire if he gets to play.
All right.
Jalen Hurts also has to show why Jalen Hurts should be the starting quarterback going into next year. So Jalen Hurts has a ton of incentive if he plays. So I think this has everything set up perfectly for a Giants win. Then the Eagles fuck shit up for the the Washington football teams. And then the Giants, they backdoor themselves into the playoffs. And we'll be talking about that next Tuesday. That's what I think is going to happen.
It would be nice to preview another game.
It will be.
So
it will be, and I can't wait to do it.
How are you let's see how this would work. So is there because I'm new to this working out, is there a set schedule of okay, if this team finishes here and this team finishes here, they play each other in the playoffs? Or is it a random?
I'm sure no, it's based on seeding. I mean, one seed gets the bye, second seed plays the 7th seed, third seed plays the 6th seed, fourth seed plays the 5th seed. Division winners go first, second, third, fourth. Then you have 3 wild cards based on record. Giants would have the fourth seed, obviously. So they'd put the best of the wild cards. Most likely would be Seattle. I don't know. Somebody like Seattle, maybe. They could also play Tampa. Tampa would also be a team that they might play a big part against. Likely they'll get fucked up against whoever they play, but they'll make the playoffs. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something on here, but it's if it stands the way it is, these people would play.
Let me see.
Oh, here. Okay, why can't I click?
All right, so right now it would be Giants would play the Buccaneers. Giants would host the Bucs. Saints would host the Rams. Or no, Seahawks would host the Rams. And the Saints would have the Bears. All doable stuff.
I mean, I wouldn't be against playing the Buccaneers in the playoffs.
I mean, you just gotta get a shot. All you want is a chance. And if you win Sunday, you got a shot to be in the postseason. That's all you can ask for. I think we win, though. What do you think?
I mean, I think, as they always say, if you're gonna win it, you need to beat everyone at some point. Even though you don't technically have to beat everyone, but you know what I mean. Yeah, but fuck it. If we're gonna beat them, beat the best. And on our day, as I've said, I think one match we can beat anyone. Do I think we're going to go to the Super Bowl? Probably not, but I would like to see us make it through to the playoffs proper, I guess, after the wild card. How are you feeling?
I think we're gonna win. Probably be a first round out, but I'm feeling like 24-17, 27-20 Giants beating the Cowboys. Then I think the Eagles pull out a close one against Washington.
I mean, either way, even if we don't make the playoffs, it will just be nice to end the season with a win against the Cowboys. That's always nice.
Absolutely. Just put everything in your favor. Rely on Washington to have to lose. And if they don't, then you know what? Fuck it. You did your best.
And unfortunately, that's the final day of my long, almost 2 weeks vacation. So if it does shit the bed, then that's me a miserable first day back at work.
That will be. But if it doesn't,
then it's going to be miserable because I'll be hungover.
Right. So I guess, yeah, either way. But one might be better, though. I would still say one is better.
Let's be real. I'll be hungover anyway, probably.
Right.
But there's a nice hangover and there's a bad hangover. So
exactly. And we'd rather have the nice one.
I tell you what, before we end the show, I guess, I got this new setup that I'm currently using because I didn't want to bother spending like $200 on a computer monitor. So I just plugged in my like 30-odd inch TV.
Nice.
And it's like ridiculously big. So I can have like so many things open all at once. It's like Step Brothers. It's like there's so much room for activities right now.
You're playing Minesweeper right now as you're doing the podcast.
And Solitaire.
And he's got all of them. And Hearts.
So I did. Okay, so because this replaces the MacBook that was about 12 years old. And it was like if you had two things open, it just blew up. So I was like, oh, now I can actually do things on this. And I downloaded. Are you familiar with the computer game City Skylines?
No.
So it's basically, it's my kind of where like I don't necessarily like games. Depends on the game, but where it's like if you say you're really good at it, you can complete it in 8 hours. Then whoop, that's 8 hours. Now the game's over, sort of thing. I like games where you can just keep going and going and going and going and going. So this is that basically like a city builder.
It's like Sim City. Sort
of, yeah. But there's no, you can't kill anyone. You can't do whatever. Although I did see that's on. I want to say is it on Steam for like $4? Sims 4. So maybe. Maybe
really?
fuck around with that. I don't know. But yeah, so this is, and so I thought, hey, this would be nice times to see if I'm bored, just boot this up and build my city for a couple of hours and see what I can do. And I've just started playing it, and I have no idea how to connect water pipes to their houses, and everyone's pissed off at me. So,
ooh, not a great city planner.
So it just doesn't make any. So,
well, luckily you're a podcaster, not a city planner.
Indeed,
you found your calling.
Yes, because that city planning is definitely. I found, if anything, I've learned something today because you should learn something every single day. I think to make your life
learn
better.
What you're not good at.
And I learned today that city planning is not in my future as a career.
So sometimes your best strengths are identifying your weaknesses, and you've found a way to do that.
Yes, and that's always. So when was the last time you had a job interview? Random question.
6 years ago.
Did you get asked that stupid question that I always hate? Is like, what would you say is your biggest weakness or some shit?
Yeah, and I just said,
I don't awesome.
Not really. I phrased it in basically the same way where you turn it into a strength. Where I was just like, I mean, I don't know all of the programs that I'm expected to know, but I'm a fast learner, so I'm able to pick up on all of the stuff that I don't know. And it was just like computer software that I didn't know.
Be tempted just to go all like, let's just say you realize you don't want the job and then tank the interview. Like, what are your weaknesses? Drug issues,
bullets.
I like bringing guns to work, which apparently
bullets really go right through me. Cars, they run over me. Vampires, honestly, if we're just being real here, vampires, werewolves, Those are, I would also say those probably, I'm pretty weak against those too.
Zombies, I'm okay with as long as they move slowly.
Zombies, if they're the slow kind.
None of this. What did I watch? It was Zombieland. Double Tapped. Have you seen that movie?
No, but you were talking about it last week.
And they had some like mutated zombies where they like not only can they run but they're smart, and it's like that doesn't make sense. I mean, I appreciate the comedy, but that's not a zombie.
Just chill out, all right? We know how zombies work, okay, dude?
Yeah, they move slowly and they just go. That's it. That's all they do.
It's exactly what they sound like.
Hello. Next job interview. What's your strength? I could do a really good zombie impression.
Sick of zombies. Zombies and Nancy Grace. That's what I can do.
Who's Nancy Grace?
You know who Nancy Grace is?
I probably do, but who?
Oh, she's just a HLN, formerly CNN reporter. She's the worst. She always gets really upset. Oh my God, this is crazy. What's happening? She accused the Duke lacrosse team of rape when somebody falsely accused them of it, and then tried to blacklist all of these kids, and then it came out that the girl made it up, and then Nancy Grace just took off for 2 weeks and never apologized. She just took off of her show for 2 weeks so she didn't have to face the music.
Yeah, she looks like a bitch.
She is. She's the worst.
Jesus. If ever the word Karen makes it into the dictionary, that should be the picture they put up.
Yeah. Yeah. She was the original Karen, people say.
See. OG. You're going to be good at something. Hey, why not be a shit thing? I guess.
And on that note...
That's nice, quick. I guess that when not much happens in the games,
right?
There's not much to talk about. So this week, so make sure you listen. So are you back with your Pasta Gravy? Are you back to your regular schedule where
we got a best tomorrow coming out later this week?
Ooh,
best of the year coming out this week. Then regularly scheduled podcast. The new episode will be back out on next Wednesday.
Which is January
7th, 6th, something like that. One of those days.
Who had the fun job of editing 50 episodes of Pasta Gravy?
It was more than that. But I am still doing that actually. Hours and hours of it. So.
Are you doing?
Getting close. Getting close.
You're not doing a video version too, right?
No. Just audio. Sometimes Robert puts together his own video version, but he usually just grabs the clips that we use throughout the year. So if you want a video version, just go watch the clips on the video page on our YouTube.
You should do it on the YouTube. On the YouTube, you should put a best of 2020 and just have a playlist of every episode.
It's just our it's every.
That's how great we are. Everything.
It's all good. All of it's the best.
So make sure you check that out. Best of Pasta Gravy podcast 2020 coming out this month. And then, so we've got West Ham versus Everton on January 1st. And then New York Giants making the playoffs this Sunday.
Making the playoffs.
And then we'll be back next Tuesday.
To celebrate being in the playoffs.
Hell yeah. So make sure you follow us if you don't already at CBB Pod on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, I believe. At Claret Big Blue, at Alex J Middleton. And until then, any last inspiring message you want to say before I sign off with our new sign off?
Let's go Giants.
Woo! See you next Tuesday, motherfuckers.